Last week on Sailing Free Spirit, we started in Yarmouth where we found fish and chips to eat. Nina did nautical navigation through the Solent where we avoided some very big vessels. We saw some amazing scenery around Beachy Head, and we docked in the dark in Dover.
We've done Dover and we're alive!
We're not through it yet!
We're not through
We're not through it yet! There's another big thing over there!
It's certainly true there were some very large and fast-moving vessels in Dover, and we were glad to get past and behind this ferry, the Spirit of France, and continue our journey east. With the wind filling our sails, we were able to relax and do one of our other favourite things, which is to eat curry. It looks amazing. Is it the tikka dal one? What's it called? The tarless. Yeah, it's lovely. So the way we do this when we're sailing is one of us eats and one helms, and then we swap over. So I enjoyed the pleasant conditions and the view for a while Nina was eating, and then it was my turn to enjoy a lovely meal. Of course, we also kept a good watch. And then we heard an alarm that nobody wants to hear.
Mayday relay, mayday relay, mayday relay.
Louder?
All stations, all stations, all stations.
Well, here's the good news. I tapped in the coordinates into our GPS. Tapped them in wrong, thought we were 4 miles away, so obviously turned around immediately, turned around in order to go and make assistance, then realised we were actually 10 miles away. Radioed the Coast Guard as you're supposed to do. Thankfully they now have a helicopter on their way to the vessel. So, yes, I messed up, but thankfully the Dover Coast Guard has not. Note to self, don't type numbers in a panic, check them. Apart from our Mayday call that we nearly responded to, what's it been like this journey?
So it's been a dream. Sun's on our faces, wind's on our tail, and just been really relaxed, you know? Going along at a good speed, got a nice night planned ahead. Yeah, it's just like dream sailing, I think.
I don't know if you can see just up ahead of us, that is Ramsgate. Kind of quite a prominent little tower there on the top of the hill. Another couple of towers to the side. So coming into Ramsgate is a bit like coming into Dover. We have to radio port control to get permission to go in there. We've already had our berth assigned to us for this evening. So that's good, we know exactly where we're going and we've seen that on the map. So I'm quite pleased about that, makes it very easy. I can't remember if we're going port or starboard side too, actually. So we've got another, I don't know, about 20 minutes to get to a place that I can see quite clearly. Going along at 4 miles an hour. Nina said to me the other day, she said, if somebody was to ask you, would you like to travel around the whole of the UK at 4 miles an hour? You'd probably say no. But when it's as peaceful and as tranquil as this is just beautiful. So I really enjoy it when we're sailing. Okay, beach end.
5-1.
Yeah.
5-5. 6-2.
That evening, once we'd arrived in Ramsgate, we'd spent a little time relaxing, and then it was time to do some planning in order to get us safely across the Thames the very next morning. So we've been programming the GPS. We have Navionics. We have a map from the people who know what they're talking about. We've got the GPS. Incidentally, it's old technology, but I was trying to zoom in and out by doing this. Yeah, you can't do that on this. And we've also got the paper charts. So what we've done is we've made a list of all of the waypoints that we need We've put them into navionics, we've put them into GPS, we've got them written down on the list of instructions from the people that know what they're doing, and we're about to mark them all on a paper chart as well. With all of that, I'm really rather hoping that Nina and I will make it across the Thames. We are a little apprehensive, aren't we, sweetheart?
Yeah, it's more me, I think, but yeah. This will be a real achievement, I think.
A real achievement indeed. It is now, time-wise, 21:45. Yeah, 21:46. And the favourable tide comes...
Too soon.
Too soon. We're going to be leaving here at 4:30 in the morning. That will get us with a favourable tide and hopefully scoosh us across. Now whether or not we motor all the way, because it is light winds, or whether I try and get the sail out, I'll decide tomorrow. Oh, by the way, the sun rises 20 minutes after we set off. Well, good morning. You see the moon is still up. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. The tides are in our favour. Literally the sun will rise in about 50 minutes. So we're off bright and breezy, throwing the ropes off and getting out of here before anybody else does. So we thought. But no, we've already seen a couple of vessels go past. I guess they're all heading north too. Let's do this. It's a big one. It's crossing the Thames. Look at this one. It's a millpool.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's more out there.
We've been past some big boats. The wind isn't blowing. The sea's hardly moving. Could not have asked for better weather. The sun's lovely and bright as well. Awesome. And better than ever is it's breakfast time. How we doing, Nanny?
Doing good. Dreams coming true.
Dreams coming true. Sail the world. And we are in an area called Black Deep. Sounded scarier than it is. It's not too bad, this Thames crossing malarkey. Is it?
Easy.
We've got flat seas, enough time to read a book, beautiful skies, bright sunshine, no wind, and no other vessels. Well, we've finally got the sail up today, after a little bit of snoozing on the anchor, and we've probably got more boats out and about than we've seen all day. Sadly though, we're going to have to put the sail down in a moment and move on down this very narrow channel. What the big cranes are doing over there, they'll be loading up for, that's Harwich. Is it Harwich?
Folkestone on the left.
And Folkestone on the left, or under the sail. Beautiful day, it's turned out nice for sailing. Some day trippers out there, they got the dinghy behind them. We're in this really narrow channel, which of course we're just 2 hours after high water. So pretty much all of this is dry on both sides. Quite hairy really. Well, we made it to our idyllic little anchorage up this little river. And you can see that there's a lot of greenery all around us. There's a good number of boats anchored around here as well. It's really nice and quiet. The wind is just still. But right now I am thoroughly exhausted. And I've just been sat here just doing nothing, not even thinking, for a little while. And Nina, bless her, is putting me to shame by cooking flapjacks.
We had some dried figs and dates that I've put in, and I've got some porridge, and I've got some butter that we've managed to keep cold. So hopefully these are going to taste good. Oh, it's weighing well bad on the boat.
What, is it not level?
It's not level.
The scales are not level.
It's not working too well. I'm going to have to make it.
How long till we can enjoy these?
An hour.
An hour? Nina. We're sprouting things. What have we got in there? We've got lentils. Oh, you can see the sprouts are coming through on the split green things at the bottom. And then there's the lentils. What are the green things? They're like black eyed peas or mung beans?
Mung beans. Yeah.
Mung beans. And chickpeas as well. They're beginning to sprout as well. So what we do is we soak them in water for how long? Well, just a bit of time. And then we give them a fresh dose of water every day.
3 times a day.
3 times a day. And then we get some fresh, healthy, homegrown, boat-grown snacks. Really nice.
We're so lucky to have an oven. It's amazing. Look at that. Actually, oh, it's gone out.
Oh.
Oven's gone out. Is that it? For the party, but then we're eating it a bit early.
Yes, we haven't let it set long enough, have we?
Not really. We're starving. Starving.
I think the whole lot's going to get eaten in one sitting, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No. No, we'll ration ourselves.
Yeah. It's still really hot. And gooey.
Lovely. Let's have a bit now.
It's a hot, gooey treat with lots of energy.
Come on.
You're not having any. Well, good morning from a rather... I'm not even going to go outside. Wet looking Walton on the Naze. It's been raining all night, on and off. But we do have some good news. And let's go inside to see what the good news is. Well, the good news is the flapjacks are more solid today than they were yesterday. And they certainly go nicely on top of my porridge breakfast. So this morning, after our amazing breakfast of porridge and porridge. We are going to go either Southwold, Lowestoft, or as far as not Southend on Sea, Wells on Sea. And the reason for this is simply because we've been in touch with Lowestoft and Southwold, or tried to, and we've not managed to book in yet. Nobody's answering emails or phone calls, so we're just going to turn up and radio in on the VHF, which is now fixed, to see if they'll let us in.
But it might not happen. That's the sailing dilemma.
That's just the way that the sailing is. I mean, it's 6:30 in the morning now. Last night we had, well, I was asleep by 6, definitely, so 11 hours sleep. Sadly, an alarm went off this morning at 4 o'clock to wake us up, because yesterday's was a 4 a.m. alarm. We forgot to turn that one off. But one of the things we're struggling with up on this coast, actually, is a lack of anchorages and a lack of rivers. So it looks like it might have to be a really long haul if we can't get into Southwold or Lowestoft.
Yeah, it's just perhaps a little bit faster pace than we were planning. We'd probably like to have relaxed a little bit more on anchorages, etc. I mean, this is a lovely place.
Time and tide wait for no man. I think that's been said once before. Well, I'm having my breakfast and then we'll be suiting up, full waterproofs I think today, and then we'll head out of this little creek. So we are here in Walton the Naze. We've got a lot of voyage to take care of around there. A little bit further north we've got Southwold. A little bit further north we've got Lowestoft. Then we've got Great Yarmouth, which we're not going to even consider. And up around and off the top of the chart, Wells next to the sea. I absolutely love it when Moyana is well balanced in the wind. So right now the sails may not be trimmed optimally. You can see, if you look at the jib sail, you can see the telltales flapping there. But as we come back to the cockpit, you can see there's nobody on the helm. The boat is just balanced. And she's holding herself really quite nicely. 30 degrees to the wind, 4.7 knots through the water. And I'm having a rest. Don't always need autopilot, you just need to balance your boat.
And since Richard didn't have much else to do, and because we hadn't quite worked out how to fire up the hot water shower, I thought it was about time we turned the cockpit into a hair salon before we got back to relaxing on the journey.
Not a bad personal tag at all. The next morning the sun was shining brightly and we had opportunity to walk along the harbour and bring the speed of our journey down another few steps. Here private pontoons housed a whole range of vessels, from well-maintained wooden yachts to somewhat neglected looking affairs. This was definitely a working harbour though, and we saw everything from small personal projects to fully functional fishing ventures.
Best of all, it really wasn't far from a lovely sandy beach and the appropriate ice cream shops that go with it.
Milkshake for breakfast. Well, here we are on Southwold Beach. Just having a lazy day today. The sun has been out. It's kind of hiding behind a little cloud at the moment, but as you saw earlier, we've had a little walk through the boatyard. That was good. Probably pop into the chandlery soon. And, well, we've just been relaxing, having a bit of a swim in the sea. Not much really, have we, today?
No, it's good. We've had it pretty full on the last few days, and it's nice not to have to get up early, because we'll be doing that tomorrow. Need to leave at 5. Got a big day. Big day for us anyway.
Yeah, we're going to do 60 odd miles and get all the way up to Wells, we hope. Yeah, and we've got to leave at 5 because that means we'll have the right water, or right height of water when we get to Wells. And we're kind of giving ourselves a couple of hours leeway just to make sure that we're in when we can get in.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to be motoring all that time, and so we just need to make sure a bit more chilled out, so not so much of a time pressure to get in. We should be all right.
So in the meantime, I'm going to make a tower out of these stones.
I'll help.
Well, another £45 gone. I'll be able to fix the sail covers and everything properly now with this handy piece of kit. Sailor's palm, so I can push a needle through, not using the pliers, thread, needles and beeswax. I don't actually know what the beeswax is for yet, I'll have to find out about that. And cheapo budget all-round anchor light. Tenner.
Really?
See how that works.
Richard, are you going to catch the fish?
I'll go and catch the fish now. Going past the fishing boats. I'm going to go up the pontoon, past the harbour master's office. I'm catching fish. We're going to Samantha Cays. Look at the fish. Oh, the fish is in a bag already. I'll tell her I caught and cooked it myself. Thank you. Don't drop the fish. Nina, I've been fishing. And look, I've prepared it for us too and put it in a nice to carry easy plastic bag. Wow.
What a treat. These
Look
are things some of which I've never had. Wow.
That was very nice. We had salmon and lobster and, oh, there's a few winkles left if you would like. And we had crab. There's a big crab thing there, upside down. And some lovely sauce. We've never had lobster before, have we?
Haven't you?
No, I've never had it.
Ah, yeah, first time. And very nice, but don't need to have it again.
Don't need to have it again. My favourite, definitely smoked salmon. Well, it's coming on time to think about leaving. And I want to just check a few things on the engine. I want to check the oil level in the gearbox and in the engine itself. It's recommended that you change the oil in our engine, Volvo Penta, every 50 hours of running. So if you've got a week of hard motoring, 10 hours a day, you've got to change the oil after a week. It seems to me to be a little often, however, that's what they say. And then they say you should change your oil filter after every 100 hours. So if you're hard motoring, that's every 2 weeks you've got to change your oil and filter. So anyway, we'll just pop down into the engine bay with me and we'll have a look to see how much oil is in my engine. Okay, in we go. Down into the depths I go. What will I find? Nobody knows. Will I be able to undo the screw? There he is. Let's have a little look at this. What have we got in there? Oh my goodness me. Very little oil. This is the MD17C. You can see cylinder number 2 at the top of it there. There's cylinder number 3. It only has 3 cylinders. Down there you can see a whole bunch of pipes and stuff. The other place to check is the gearbox oil. Oh, good. That's nice and full. That's probably too full, actually. I wonder if that's where it's all going. It's all my engine oil going into my gearbox. Same type of oil that you put in the engine that you put in the gearbox. So you don't have to deal with any stinky EP90s and EP80s. Horrible stinky stuff. Little nip on that to keep it tight. And everything's gonna be alright.
Wow, I can hardly believe it. 11 days have passed on our trip around the UK. Thanks for joining us so far. And if you want to keep in touch, know where we are. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and if you're maybe feeling generous enough, maybe become a £1 tourist on Patreon. Join us next week as we set off from about 4 in the morning. Oh my goodness.